Today is handover day for Lisa, the lady in red. This is the red 5-litre supercharged L405, which you cannot help but miss behind me. So yes, handover day for that, but I think first things first, it's coffee time. It is not even 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I think a coffee is most definitely in order. The big one. 2 shots. And I think this morning is going to be a syrup day. Come on. You just hate these new lids. Syrup. With coffee in hand, let's talk about some cars, shall we? So today is going to be handover day for the red supercharged L405, which I have mixed feelings about. Obviously quite like turning the cars over. But equally, this is a really quite special car. And interestingly enough, when I was first offered this car, I really wasn't sure I was going to be that keen on the colour scheme. I think red is, it's definitely a bold choice. But it really works, I think, on the L405. I think, for me, red is one of those colours where it has to be clear glass. I just don't think I could go for a red car with tints, be they factory or otherwise. I just think that would be too much. I think that has still got a real touch of class about it. So yeah, beautiful car, and really does go very nicely. We'll have a separate video with my thoughts on the 5-litre L405, so that will be coming soon. So we'll take a little walk outside now, and we'll just have a quick chat about the cars in the yard. Right, we've got YD11MDV. So this is a 4.4 TDV8, 8-speed gearbox, 68k on the clock. It needs quite a lot of catch-up work, so we've done rear brakes already. There's front brakes in the unit ready to go, along with track control arms, front anti-roll bar links, a few other bits and pieces. Nicely, the 19-inch wheels have cleaned up very nicely, so I don't think I'm going to have to send those to powder coat, because they are on their original paint from the factory, and yeah, they still need a little bit of cleaning up, but that will come off with iron and fallout remover, which is a really good product. G-Technique iron and fallout remover. I'll show you that in the unit in a second, but yeah, that's a really powerful wheel cleaner, but it's still quite soft on the wheels. It doesn't affect lacquer or paint. So yeah, that's coming nicely. You may have seen, if you're a channel member, I dropped the seat off at Custom Coach Trimming the other day, just to have a bit of piping repaired. So that will be underway, and when I go and pick that up, I'll have a chat with Chris at Custom Coach Trimming just about some of the projects that he's up to. Oh, coffee, first one of the day. Okay, LD62WJU. You will have seen this advertised on the channel. This is a Santorini black over jet black 4.4 L322. It's a TDV8, 8-speed gearbox, just 53k on the clock. I took a deposit on this yesterday from a lovely gentleman up in North Yorkshire, who was quite pleased that it had proper tyres on it, proper all-terrain tyres on it. So I have a feeling it's gonna see some actual off-road use, and it won't just be a pavement princess. So yes, we'll be handing that over towards the end of the month. Right, what's the reg on this one? OY12WCF. We're just waiting for some plates to arrive. Again, we've got the seat on this one out. This, funny enough, also needs to go to Custom Coach Trimming for a bit of piping repair, so that will be underway shortly. As you may remember, this one came in with an oil and coolant leak, which was traced to the oil cooler, so pretty standard fare, really. We've done the oil cooler plus a service plus change the coolant and bleed the system. Whilst doing that inspection, noticed that one of the CV boots on the front right was split, so had that drive shaft out, changed the boot, and then whilst doing that did front discs and pads. Right, we've not started work on LC10. This is a supercharged 5-litre. It does need quite a bit of work. It's got an adaptive dynamics fault, and if I'm not going to talk too much about this, because frankly I don't know what's wrong with it yet, and it will be the subject of a separate video. And then GJ63 HTF, so this is the Loire Blue, which I think is a stunning colour. We polished up the bonnet on this the other day and replaced the badges just because they had been damaged by cheap car wash acid, and after the bonnet was polished, you could see the beautiful fleck in the paint. It's very, very similar to the XKR. And I actually think I said the XKR in the last video. I think I called it Portofino blue. It's not Portofino blue. It's called indigo pearlescent. And it's very, very similar to this Lower blue, which is very nice. And then interior, immaculate. So this has now also got a deposit on it. That's going to a gentleman who he's going to part exchange his autobiography Stornoway Grey L322 against that. And again, that's probably going to be middle of May, I would have thought. So we'll have a nice Stornoway autobiography coming in, Part X, which is always good. Keeps them moving around. This morning's job for me, first thing, is going to be giving Lisa a good clean. It's going to have some Autoglim SRP put on it. I think Autoglim SRP really is a great product. That's really stood the test of time. Just gives such a good finish. Now, contrary to popular opinion, it is not actually a polish. It's basically got bits of resin inside it, and those bits of resin actually fill any micro scratches and then just give a really, really nice finish. So it doesn't actually do any polishing. It isn't a polishing compound, so it's not quite named correctly, but it's still a really good product, really like it. And then we'll just be giving the interior a quick wipe down and vac. So yeah, we're going to get on with that now. One of the things I think is quite interesting about the L405 is actually the fit and finish of the bodywork is a lot better than the L322. Particularly like the front bumper. So the front bumpers, even on excellent example L322s, a lot of them don't really sit very well around here where they connect with the front fender. And I do kind of notice that the fit and the finish of the L405, certainly with respect to the bodywork, is just loads better compared to the L322. And if you think about it, the L322 was designed, it would have probably been late 90s, early 2000s, because the first production vehicle was 03. So it would have been in the pipeline a couple of years before. And it was just very, very different automotive technology. You know, by contrast, you think about the L405, the first one came out in the first ones you could get were on a 62 plate. So 2013. So, you know, probably pre-production in 2012. And just a much later design, you know, different levels of automotive technology, fit and finish, tooling, and it definitely shows up in the bodywork. Well, that's step one, Autoglim SRP, super resin polish applied. So we'll give that just a couple of minutes to dry off. I'll probably vac the inside and then give this a wipe down with a clean microfiber towel. Just whilst we're in product corner, what I would just say is that I'm not sponsored by any of these products. I just call out some of them as being particularly good. So I mentioned earlier the iron and fallout remover by G-Technique. This stuff is amazing. It's really, really good at cleaning up wheels. Now, there's plenty of other wheel cleaning products on the market, and I think that's one of them there, which I'm not that thrilled about, but this is the real deal. It's really, really good at bringing heavily blackened wheels with brake dust back to a nice shine. So it's a really, really good product. I definitely recommend that one. There's a lot of detailing products out there which I do think are snake oil at best, but there are some on the market which definitely stand out, and that is one of them, that iron and fallout remover. That is good stuff. Well, that's the Autoglim SRP applied to Lisa, and thankfully the day has warmed up a little bit, which moves us on to the next subject of today's video. So this is the latest arrival. It is a 4.4 SD V8 in Carpathian grey with an ivory interior. This is an L405, but it's a facelift one. So this is the final version of the L405 before new Range Rover, although it's not really new anymore, it's a couple of years old. But yes, this is really quite something. And if you think that the seats in the L405 are good, well, you've not really had anything yet compared to this 2019 version, which I think actually it was either a 69, no, it was 68 come 19, the facelift versions. So yeah, really, really very, very smart. I've driven this just round the sort of block and drives very, very nicely. Seems to sort of glide along the road beautifully. So yes, really, really nice condition. We will be doing a full wheel refurb. Let me know what colour you think I should go for. Do you think I should do an all anthracite to match the bodywork, or perhaps an all silver? I'm loathed to do a diamond turn refurb because they just don't last. You know, they might last a year before you get some lacquer peel, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you look at that, if you can see in the light there, that is, it might look better in the shadow, you can see it better. Yeah, that's where the lacquer has peeled away, and you get that sort of aluminium clouding, which isn't very nice. So even without, you know, curb damage, you can still get that in the sort of main spokes, and you can see there, you know, that'll be things like stone chips from the road, and they don't tend to last. It's very rare that you find an example where the diamond turning lasts for a long time. So it will be a solid colour that I'll do those. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think in terms of colour. Solid silver, black, not sure about black. I don't think black wheels look right on a Range Rover personally, unless you are a very private gentleman who perhaps runs a street pharmacy. Well, it's been a busy morning, so we'll have to pick up the 2019 plate L405 in a bit. The buyer of Lisa has just arrived, so we'll be handing that over, and I will be talking a little bit about the Partex shortly. Well, I think that will be the last start we hear of Lisa as it goes to its new home. So yeah, quite sad to see it go. It's been a lovely car. And yeah, I'm sure the new owner will have a great time with that. Well, with Lisa off to her new home, shall we have a look at what's come in part exchange? 3, 2, 1. Well, what on earth is this? What's happened? We've turned an L405 Supercharged into an L320 Range Rover Sport. So yeah, I never really thought I'd have one of these on the channel. Now, Range Rover Sports, well, I've always thought it was a bit of a misname, really. Range Rover and Sport shouldn't really go in the same sentence, but there's something a bit different about this one. It is a supercharged model. So it has the same 5-litre supercharged engine as the L405, which has just left. Now, I would never buy an L320 diesel. Sports cars don't have diesel engines, so that would be a firm no from me. I wouldn't have an L320 with a diesel. However, I think there might be something to this one because it's got 500 horsepower. It has the active cornering system, which, yes, can be problematic, but also means that they seem to ride very flat through the corners. And of course, it's a V8. So yes, this one has been serviced to within an inch of its life and was owned by the last keeper for about 6 years, who said he only ever ran it on E5 petrol. So pretty juicy, expensive stuff. Now, I will be taking this for a drive. We'll save that for another video, but these are my first impressions. Well, the cabin. So one of the things about the Range Rover Sport is you do feel more hemmed in. So the center console comes up much higher. You definitely feel like you're in a car rather than in a Range Rover. But you've still got that nice high up view. The materials feel high quality, so I'm going to guess that's because this is a sort of HSE superchargy autobiography thing. So we've got some leather up here. Door cards, are they leather? No, they're plastic. They're still plastic, so not quite as Gucci as the L322 the supercharger, which is all autobiography. We haven't got a leather headlining, so that's a more zine headlining. But yes, it's quite comfortable. So we will do a drive in this in another video. 66,600 miles. It's got 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so I think I will be making good use of that in doing some filming and also kind of getting to grips with the car, seeing what it's about. But yeah, it's quite a nice thing really, and they do represent very, very good value. I need to do a bit of research to see where the market is, but it's a lot of car for not a lot of money. And I had a quick look at the average fuel consumption of the previous owner, and it was saying 23 mpg with an average speed of, I think it was 32 miles per hour. So you've got that to look forward to on the channel. We'll save the drive of this for another day. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you ever had a Range Rover Sport? Did you like it? What went wrong with it? What are the key things to look out for? And let me know what you think of this one. Well, that concludes this update video. Once again, if you are thinking about selling your Range Rover, particularly if it's an L322, 4.4 TDV8 or 5-litre supercharged, please do get in touch. I'd love to make you an offer. And once again, thank you for watching the channel.